So we contacted Martin Gerrard in 2018 to basically look after our 3 properties that we own locally as a charity, and we were recommended Martin Gerrard by quite a number of our parishioners who've used them in the past, either as landlords or as tenants, and we used them to initially let one of our flats and then gradually built up from there. We've been very happy with Martin Gerrard. We've always had a professional service from them, and Anthony Spittle, whom we've worked with since the beginning, has always been really on it and found us really decent tenants, has always responded to any queries and worries we have, particularly with some complex issues with charity law and letting charity properties out. He's been particularly good at working with us on that, and he knows his stuff too. Anthony's definitely got a good sense of local knowledge. I mean, I think he's done it for over 20 years, I think, locally. So he knows the area. It's a tricky area. It's an expensive place to live, and people do want to live here. But he's able to find good tenants who are well matched and well suited to the properties that we have, and that's been our experience. And it tends to mean that people are happier in the property, I think, when they've been matched well to a property. That's what I found. And Anthony knows the area very well. I think the security that he's able to provide us is essential, really, because the income that we get from those properties fund what we do as a charity. So it's really important. We've always found that the tenants or the choice of tenants that we often have, normally we're not just given one, we're given, a selection of 5, 6, maybe more potential tenants. There's always a choice. Now, that's because I think people go to Martin Gerrard, they know that they've got a decent portfolio of properties. And also that I'm presuming from the other side of the tenants, the tenants' point of view, which me as a vicar would be quite keen that they're fair to those people as well, that they are fair and they do a good job for them. And I think it's an approach that's a holistic one rather than just one that's there for the landlord. I think they work with all the parties concerned, and I think that leads to a much better outcome for particularly the landlord. From my point of view, it has been a positive one. My communication with Martin Gerrard, Anthony, and the other staff members on the legal side as well has always been very positive. I don't always get an answer the first time, but they're happy if I ring them on their mobile, or they'll get back to me within the sort of part of the day that I phone. I mean, I've never found that they've gone silent or they've been very positive and proactive in getting in touch. Normally the process is quite quick, because a property comes on the market and they get people in straight away, and you have offers within days, really. That's been our experience so far, but I've always found the communication to be quite fluent between us and them, and whether it's email or phone contact, it's very positive. I think it's really important to be able to trust the estate agent that you're working with. Anthony has been proven himself to be very trustworthy. I think he's friendly, he's approachable, he knows our own ethos as a local charity, and it's clear that from a business point of view, he's trying to help us too. And I think that's reassuring, particularly in London, where it's very cutthroat and people want to make as much money as possible. I think just to know that somebody is trustworthy is hugely reassuring as a local charity. the things that have impressed me about Martin Gerard, and particularly Anthony Spittle, is approachability. That was key. I think linked to that was the trust that we were entrusting them with our assets and finding us tenants for 3 properties that we rely on. And also the communication has been key too. I think with what I hear from other people is that communication isn't always the best from other agencies, and I think I've appreciated over the years of working with Martin Gerard that's important. Martin Gerard have been head and shoulders above another agency that I've used on another property. I think one of the main things I would say is that as soon as one of our properties comes on the market, there are already several people that Martin Gerard have on their books to show that property to, and I think that just shows that they're a trusted company. They are a company that people go to look for a property because they have decent properties, and I think people trust them from a tenant's point of view as well, and that's my experience, that they've got a client list that is ready to move in, is ready to be shown the property as soon as one comes on the market. I think Anthony goes above and beyond for us. I'd like to think it's because we're a church and a charity, and that he, is very keen in looking out for us. But I suspect we're not that special. I think he probably does that for most of his clients. That's how he works. It's how he operates. And I think that for us is key. Not that we feel that we're getting something extra, but just that someone is willing to do a good job for us. We recognise that as a local business, and we really appreciate it. The reason why I'm doing this testimonial today is 1, because I've been asked, and 2, because I was very happy to, and I'm very happy to recommend Martin Gerard as a good local business and a good local estate agent to work with. We haven't been let down by them, and they've always worked with us, and so I'm very happy to support